Kiki Classic Rock.
She is known to us as Mrs. Money, is the curator of her husband's iconic legacy, and she is doing an amazing job keeping his music alive. Her kids, Jess and Dez, literally just released a remake of Eddie's single, Everybody Loves Christmas, and added a song for Dad to the end of that. And here to tell us all about it is the proud and beautiful mom herself, Laurie Money. Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Kiki. How are you?
Very good. And I am so glad to finally be talking to you. And I can't believe Jess is there with you.
Well, yeah, Jess is right here. How's it going, Kiki?
This is awesome. Jess, can I just tell you, how fun was it to make this song?
Oh, it was so much fun. You know, it was actually my mom's idea. So we kind of all got together and wanted to do and pay homage to my dad. And so just kind of redoing the verses to make it about him. And you know, I just want to make him proud and continue his legacy. So this was a great way to do it, especially for the holidays.
Oh yeah, and
yeah, they started doing it last year during the pandemic. You know, we were sort of locked in together. Yeah.
You really started
this.
this.
What to do? Yeah, we were sort of a captive audience, but there was a pandemic version too, but we won't release that. Oh, yeah. It was going to be Pandemic Christmas.
Yeah. But this one's really good.
I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Yeah, we were writing the lyrics and kind of putting our heads together. And, you know, since the loss of my dad, we wanted to make it kind of about, you know, losing somebody on Christmas, but keeping the Christmas spirit alive, because that's what they would want you to do when they're gone. And so that was the toughest part about writing the lyrics for me, because I really wanted to say the right things and not get too deep and too sad. So just letting people know that it's okay to feel sad, but also don't forget, you know, that everybody loves Christmas and you have to, you know, be in good spirits and enjoy the holidays while you can. Absolutely.
And your dad loved Christmas, right?
Oh, big time. I mean, he had his own Santa costume that he wore every year.
Come on.
So yeah, he was like a big kid. So once he had kids, Christmas was even a bigger deal to him.
And that was one of the questions I was going to ask next. So when you did have children, how did that progress throughout the years? Because 5 children later, how did each Christmas change for the Money family?
It's kind of a blur, you know. I mean, when you have them one after another every couple of years, it just became like, okay, guess what? There's another one coming next year. It just had to be that much more fun. And maybe I'll post a picture of us, them. I was taking the picture of their matching Christmas pajamas with their name on them, including Eddie.
Oh my!
My mom loved to do the matching thing. We were very cornball with the square buttons in the butt, you know. You know, those were the greatest Christmases, and we used to travel a lot, you know, to England and do things like that. And then later on in life, we ended up just doing it at home or going to New York. So, I mean, Christmas has changed for everybody throughout the years, but once we got older, we became closer and, you know, tried to make obviously our presents probably got more expensive.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but now it's different this year, and we're all just keeping it simple and having the grandparents come out and just, you know, just relaxing. So it's Christmas has definitely changed for us since he's passed, but we're just trying to enjoy it and be happy for the holidays as much as everybody else should be.
Absolutely. And it just makes things so much brighter. And you know, just by you guys releasing this, and I keep using the word fun, and I'm sorry for that, but it just is. And it's so nice and refreshing to have a really uplifting song. And I have to say, just to hear Eddie's voice there as well. How was that for you guys when you sat down and listened to the final product?
Well, when we listened to the final product, first when we recorded it, I didn't like the way my vocals sounded. So then I wanted to go back and I started nitpicking it because we had to separate his voice from the original track. And so once we added my dad to the track, I got pretty emotional because, you know, obviously it's been a long time since I've sang with my dad. And so listening to him sing on it, you know, it was really emotional. And, you know, I'm just happy that it came out as great as it did.
And I have to tell you, Jess, so here's a little story from myself. We had seen Eddie for the first time. I had never gotten a chance to see your dad. It was, oh my gosh, maybe, I don't know, 7 years ago or so at one of the casinos. Now, this was before you guys were performing with him. We saw him then, and then we saw you guys, and we met you at Vet's Aid at Mohegan Sun in 2017.
Oh my God. I remember that show.
Yes, and can I just tell you the change in your dad and Laurie, your husband, from when we saw him a few years prior to that to when he was performing with the kids on stage was night and day. You could tell, Laurie, as you're the proud mom, he was such the proud dad. And, you know, my husband and I are standing there going, he's so happy to be on that stage with his kids. You felt it, though. You just did. He was beaming.
Oh, yeah, he really enjoyed, I mean, every time that we'd have a baby, literally, he was like, okay, eventually I'm going to have enough for a whole band. And I,
oh my God.
And then poor kids, you know, once that, you know, he really wanted to take them on the road when Julian was graduating. And Jess had already been out. Gosh, when did you start? You were
right when I graduated, yeah. Went straight on the road.
And it was sort of, you know, it was all Eddie's idea. I felt sorry for the kids for a while.
Well, he didn't know what he was getting himself into, because after every show I'd be talking to the fans, and you know they'd see me at the bar, and he's like, "You drink too much. Get her back on the bus."
Remember that one guy that carried you out for us?
Oh yeah, they couldn't get me out of the bar. What was that place?
Big John.
Big John. He threw me over his shoulders. My mom's like, "Get her out of here."
No, but Eddie was really a taskmaster, because he wanted his music to sound really great, and poor Julian and Dez had never performed in front of anybody. They'd never performed live, right?
Well, yeah.
And so their first shows, within the first couple of months, how big was that show with Joan Jett? That thing was huge.
Joan Jett and then Leonard Skinner.
And then Leonard Skinner. Yeah. I mean, within the first 2 months, they opened for both of them. And I mean, that's like baptism by fire.
And you can only imagine before getting on the stage, him yelling, like, "Where is everybody?"
Julian was always getting something to eat.
Yeah.
Right at showtime. But yeah, it was, you know, he was the best teacher. I mean, this was the ultimate school of rock that the kids went to. And, you know, I think in the long run, well, I know we were all super happy that we all went through that, as difficult as it was for them to be learning everything. Remember the days in the garage?
Yeah. Yes. I remember the days. Lots of yelling, lots of happy laughing. And, you know, he was very stern and very professional, so you had to listen to him, but I'm glad that we did. You know, we miss him very much, but we're happy to have this Christmas song out.
Yeah.
Now, Jess, is this something you had always wanted to do, or was it basically your dad's going, "No, you're going to be good at this, and we're just going to put it together and see what happens"?
I've been singing since I was a little kid. I mean, my mom would tell me that, you know, I would just run up on stage and just kind of stare at him. So I've known this since, you know, day one, pretty much, that I wanted to be a singer and perform with my dad. So after, you know, he passed away, it kind of took a turn. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to do without him. And so being able to do this track with him on it kind of changed my way of thinking and helped me with my grief as well.
Yeah. Now, will you continue to do things like this with, you know, your dad as part of the music?
Yeah, I have a track, a single that's coming out that I've been saving. It should be out by the end of January, that I did with my dad. It's called "Shoulda Known Better," but once I get the music video done, I think this was the best way to kind of just jumpstart the things that I've been trying to put out. So I've got some new music coming. Don't you worry.
Good.
Is that the one that you did on Real Money?
Yeah.
You were in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Laurie, how did you... I mean, was it okay for you to stand back and watch Eddie and the kids just collaborate all of this together? Or were you basically in the background saying, you know what? Yeah, this is a good idea. We got to do this.
Well, I think Eddie and I both knew that it was a good idea. We had a lot of people pushing back on us, and usually that was a good sign to us that if we both agreed on something and everybody else disagreed, that we were right. So we kept pushing, and the kids were all in for it. And, you know, it's hard to do a family thing in this industry sometimes. It's, you know, people don't understand, and in the long run, it was exactly what we should have done. And, you know, it made Eddie happy, and it gave us all a lot more time together. And, you know, it was, looking back, it was just a godsend that we all were able to have all that special time with the kids, and especially doing the show and for other people to see, how close our family is and how much we all loved each other.
Oh, yeah. And just the fact that you have that on film,
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. Now, you had mentioned New York City, and Jess, you kind of lit up when you mentioned New York City as well. What was it about New York City at Christmas time? I absolutely love it. I know have my own feelings about it, but what are some special memories from the both of you with Eddie in New York City at Christmas time?
Well, we got stuck in a blizzard, and
when we went to see
we went to go see a play, and he's like, it's just a couple more blocks. The wind was just freezing our faces. We finally I think it was Driving Miss Daisy. We went to go see.
Yeah, it was.
And, just like, it's always the hectic stuff that you remember the most, but it ends up like, you're coming out okay. And I remember the limo got stuck in front of the hotel we were staying at. We had to push it away from the doors. And it's just like, I felt like everything we did as a family, there was always some sort of obstacle we had to get through. But New York is, obviously one of our favorite places because that's where my dad's from. And so visiting family and going to see the tree. And when we went to go see the tree get lit up, they let us up, to go to the front, and everybody was shouting my dad's name, and, just to see him proud and all these people love him and, know who he is. It just really was, it felt really great because I'm like, that's my dad,
Oh,
yeah. Lady Gaga lived in our building when we had our apartment on Central Park, and Jess and I met her a couple of times, but one time, the first time that Eddie met her, it was, Christmas Eve before she was doing the tree lighting thing or something. And, she just was so nice to him. And, she had mentioned him before in a Rolling Stone article that he was one of her inspirations. And I thought that was like really nice, the way that she pays homage to, the people that, came before her.
And inspired her, yeah.
Exactly. And so that was always nice. He loved being able to walk around Manhattan, and he was from Brooklyn, Queens, and then moved out to Long Island as I think he was about 15. And so for him to be in Manhattan and people know who he was like, wow, we barely got to come into Manhattan when I was a kid. It's nice to see. Remember we saw Al Roker that time?
Yeah.
Walking around, and he was like, I just played Everybody Loves Christmas on the radio, Eddie.
Oh.
There's something so unique about New York Christmas. Now you're making me miss it worse. I'm just like,
I'm sorry.
We're getting on a plane.
We're going next year. We're going.
Yeah, we're definitely going next year.
Well, when you ladies show up, please let me know because we'll meet you there. New York City at Christmas, it really is just, I don't know, a magical place to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And so alive. There's so many people. I mean, I'm a big people person. I'm always talking to everybody, just like my dad. So.
And the kids loved ice skating in Central Park. Eddie and I were the worst.
The worst ice skaters of all time. They're holding on to each other ice skating. I'm going, this is a mess.
We're really bad ice skaters. I think we made it around one time.
They both fell together holding hands.
Oh my
gosh.
Well, at least they were holding hands when they fell.
Along here.
We don't know you. Yeah.
So Jess, obviously you and your mom and your brothers have been able to meet some pretty incredible people, while performing with your dad. Who was, I guess Joan Jett was the first big artist that you had performed with, but who is a performer that you consider someone that you truly wanted to work with? And when you finally got to work with them, what was that like for you?
Well, yeah, definitely Joan Jett. But one of my favorite memories was when I was a teenager. My dad took me to go meet Etta James, and I literally I started crying. I broke out in hives. That was my idol. And so getting to meet her,
she gave you her phone number.
She gave me her phone number. Of course, I
gosh.
never called her because I was so nervous.
Well, then you sang in front of her.
I sang in front of her, and that was my top favorite memory of all time. That was 100% my idol, and getting to meet her with my dad and him pushing me to sing, and I was so nervous. That was definitely my favorite memory.
And you were really young when you sang with Michael McDonald at the Kentucky Derby party.
Yes,
remember?
Yes.
Oh,
getting the chance to sing with all these great people, and Loverboy and Rick Springfield and Sammy, and it's especially the memorial too, and seeing everybody show up and sing. I've honestly had a blessed life, so I'm just going to try to do my best to continue the legacy and try to work with big artists again.
Well, Jess, what do you have planned next? Because let me tell you, I mean, as an artist on stage, your stage presence is off the charts. Your voice is incredible. I mean, is there anything you can talk about with us for 2022 that you have coming up?
I've got some tracks that I haven't released. Some old, like a track I did with my dad called "Should Have Known Better." I plan on doing, a bunch of different things and working with a couple different artists, especially my brother. So, who's calling right now, which is funny.
Yeah, he was supposed to be here, so he's down the hall. But yeah,
I've got some tracks I'm gonna be releasing next year. Some big things are happening. But hopefully,
and you're working on your dad's latest album.
Yes, I'm working on my dad's unreleased music, and
wow.
I want to just get back on tour and sing my dad's songs and associate it with my brother, do his songs and do my songs, and kind of just redo the Eddie Money tour all over again.
Yeah, it's kind of like what the Nelson brothers do. I mean, it's kind of sort of like that because they incorporate what their dad did and they have a Christmas show, and just what you guys will do is get your dad's music out of the vault, out into front of, the front of all of us again, and also be able to release your music as well, which is great.
Yeah, it's all in the works. We're ready to go. We're sick of, kind of sitting on our hands out here. And plus, he said, I'm leaving you with a legacy. So if I don't get back on stage and sing 2 tickets, I'm going to get yelled at when I get to heaven.
Well, and you know what? I think fans,
I don't know.
And fans are ready for that. I really believe that. You and your brothers getting out there, and Laurie, you manning the ship. And I have to say that
He does not want to do that.
I'm not sure I want to do that, but thank you. Maybe I'll be behind the scenes, just bugging him a little bit.
Yeah, right.
But you know what, Laurie, I have to give you credit that you are doing an amazing job keeping Eddie's legacy alive, because it's a lot of work and it has to be painful at times, pulling out the pictures and talking about the photos of you and Eddie, or you and Eddie and the family. And, you are doing a wonderful job keeping that
nice.
all going.
Thank you. It's really, I kind of have to step out of, my normal personality. It's not like me to want to do that, but, I know that's what Eddie would want me to do. So yeah, sometimes it's like really, really good therapy though. And you see so many people like on his social media that have also been through so much, and they're sharing with me. It's kind of like a little group therapy thing. And then nobody on his Facebook ever gets tired of talking about Eddie, so I can talk about him
all the
comment
time.
about him like all the time.
How great is that though?
It's wonderful. I mean, it really is. And, that's been like I think it's been really healing for me to be able to have that. I drive the kids a little bit nuts, sending them screenshots. Look what this person said. Look what that person said. And then once in a while, somebody will say something I don't really like.
Yeah, and then that gets kind of fun too.
Well, sometimes it's fun.
That's social media for you.
Feature. Yeah.
The great thing is you can ignore and block. So that's the wonderful thing.
Yeah. Once in a while, though, if they catch me in a weak moment, I'll respond a little bit. But, 99% of everybody there is just really good people. And I love the pictures that people send where, they've met Eddie. Because for him to stay after, most of his shows for at least an hour and meet people, I don't think a whole lot of artists did that. But he had such a connection, like a direct connection with people. He wanted to know that people enjoyed his performance. I mean, his whole thing was Eddie wanted to make people happy, and he did. I can't say that he was wonderful when people wanted to, well, I didn't like this, or you didn't play that song. He'd say, well, he might come back a little bit.
Or he'll just sing it at the t-shirt booth.
He'll sing it to him right then. Now go. Are you happy now?
So Jess, because your dad was so accessible, what do you get from that?
Well, I get, I'm a very open person. I think it's trained me to just be a big people person and to not really hold anything back. So even now it's like, I don't have any secrets to hide. I'll tell everybody what's on my mind, and just because everybody has, seen me in the spotlight with my dad. So, I mean, I guess it's just made me, more, I don't know, open to people and, just trying to hear people's stories. But the fact that everybody could just kind of get to him and, it didn't take away from our relationship. It just kind of added to it.
Yeah.
So it just taught me a lot about, what people are like and how to treat people by how my parents taught me to treat people. You got to be kind, you got to have respect and listen to people's stories. And a lot of people, they're going through the same thing this holiday. They're dealing with loss. They're dealing with all sorts of things, and even the pandemic or even being sick or whatever, I mean, that's important to just kind of, put yourself in other people's shoes and make sure, realize that you're not the only person going through this and just help people and be not just an entertainer, but a really good person. So,
well, it's a gift. Our life is a gift, and we have that a platform to be able to help people. And I mean, you should use it. It's good for them. It's also good for us. But I think the kids, we almost decided to release a song next year because everything
was not letting that happen.
was done so late, and we're like, this was a really a pretty heavy year for a lot of people, where a lot of people experienced loss, and Jess was really determined. So it was just sort of a last minute, like, hey, you've heard everybody else's new songs, now hear this one.
Well, how quickly did you get this song together?
We've been working on this song for 2 years.
Yeah.
And
oh
we
my
could not find the masters anywhere to get his voice. And even though like last year was when we really started talking about it, we were looking for the masters for since the first Christmas without him, and went through every avenue we could think of to try to find them, and we were not successful. So we spoke with our friend who's like the best mix guy in the industry, Chris Lord Algie, and we went to lunch with him, and I said, all I have is this CD. And he says, let me take it and see what I can do with it. And he actually took Eddie's voice from the CD.
Wow.
And I mean, it's just like a miracle when he sent it to us, with the kids' voices. I was like crying, but because we'd been working on this for so long. But so that's kind of why we'd almost given up on that, because they didn't want to do the song without having their dad's voice on it.
Yeah, it was just pointless because it's his song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being able to sing with him and making people happy, and it also reminds us that we got to love Christmas too. He wants us to be happy, and and he also wants us to do songs with him still. So I mean, it's just a blessing to be able to have done that.
Oh, absolutely.
And to be on the phone with you.
That's right, Kiki.
I mean, I got to talk, though, before I let you ladies go, I have to talk about the tribute last year at the Sabin Theater in Beverly Hills. You had your good friend Sammy Hagar, Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon, James Hetfield from Metallica. And this was a huge event, all in honor of Eddie. And in true Eddie fashion, proceeds were donated to Music Cares and the USC Eddie Money Cancer Research Fund. Eddie was always giving back. Always.
Yes. I mean, that's the only way that we would have done that. We gave all the net proceeds to both of those charities. And I mean, honestly, we didn't know what to do, because I won't get into it, but we really didn't anticipate that he was going to pass as soon as he did, and we were unprepared. And plus, Eddie's family lives in New York. My family's in Nashville, so we didn't have a regular, memorial service. And all of them started reaching out to us. They were so good. People would be surprised how wonderful, the artists are in the music industry. And it's like a brotherhood, that they were just looking out for us, as Eddie's family. And they said, anything that you need, including the guy that owns the Saban, who's Lance Sterling, is a good friend of mine, and the kids. And Eddie had opened up all of his 9 venues here in Los Angeles. And he said, anytime, if you want to have something, let us know, no pressure. Same with Sammy, same with Kevin Cronin, and then James came in last minute. That was a nice surprise.
Oh, wow.
And Mickey Thomas.
John Wayne.
And John, I love John Wayne.
All right, Laurie, you know what? back up the truck for 1 second. I have to ask you, because I have a deep, passionate love for John Wayne as well. And, well, you probably don't have a deep... I can't, like, what is it about him?
So kind, and he has just one of those distinct...
That voice.
Yeah. Is so amazing. He's just a really, really great person.
He is one that on Eddie's birthday, that was Eddie's 70th birthday present, was to do that show with John Waite. When that offer came up, and it was in Long Island where he could be with his family and
the Westbury, right?
And with his family could come out, and friends from that area could come out and see him and spend time with him. Plus, the big bonus was, guess who's doing the show with you is John Waite. And I mean, Eddie, that was like the best present we could have possibly given him. And he snuck away and
watched him perform from behind the stage, where everybody was backstage to see Eddie, and Eddie was down below, like hidden behind the stage watching John. And he was a huge John Waite fan. And, they had this really special bond, well, as he had with Sammy and the others. But John, he kept touch with us when Eddie was in the hospital and sent a postcard from England, and wanted to come and visit him, and it just didn't work out before Eddie passed. But just a great guy. I can't say enough about him. You just love him. Amazing, so talented, so great. And Uncle John Waite.
Yeah.
Well, Jess, maybe that's a nice collab for you.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Kiki's already managing me.
There you go. You can take right over. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like, we just saw John about a month ago, and I feel that. I feel a Jess-John collab. I like it.
Oh, did you get one of his drawings?
I didn't, but I got a hug.
Oh, even better.
And I got a couple of signed CDs, so I was happy with that. And the hug, like, stop it. I haven't washed since, really, to be honest.
Well, it is a pandemic still, so you don't have to leave and go anywhere.
You know what? It's true. It's so true that the hug is still on my shoulder.
Yeah, and we knew that song was going to be perfect for him, because it was all stripped down, just him and the acoustic guitar, and it's all about the voice. Save a Little Room, Eddie's song. So he did a beautiful job on that, and we were just so grateful to have, and also George Thorogood. I don't think I mentioned him.
But, that's right. That's right. I mean, what an honor, though, for all of you to have a night like that for Eddie. And I'm sure Eddie was smiling and saying, that
backstage. Oh, and Louie. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with
There's
you?
just so many people that
love Louie. Louie's like a really good family friend.
Oh,
Anderson, sorry. But yeah, it was really special, and the video tributes added in just filled in perfectly. So yeah, it came together. Because everybody offered, and they loved him, and they, had the same. Everybody had the same, wanting to pay homage.
Well, you know what? It just goes to show how Eddie's character was and how he touched everybody around him. So it speaks volumes.
Yeah, I mean, he was the guy backstage making everybody else laugh. That was, and who said that? Boston. Was it somebody from?
I think a lot of people.
Yeah, they said Eddie was the guy backstage. Like, if they were all having their own way to what they did before they went on their pre-performance things, and Eddie's was to go around and he wouldn't even knock on the door. I'm like, Eddie, you shouldn't do that. He was like, well, I don't care. He'd walk in and start telling jokes, and it was like his warm-up act backstage. And you couldn't. The older that he got too, he really became even more comfortable, and I think his performances became like what you were saying early when we just started talking. I really felt like his more mature performances were even a richer experience for people, because you got to know him. It wasn't just him singing the songs, it was his personality came through, and especially with the kids around him, he felt very comfortable, and was enjoying what he did. So, he was a blessed man.
Was Eddie that funny when you first met him?
Eddie was funnier when he wasn't trying to be funny, and he was so naturally funny that was probably my favorite thing about him. Yeah, I mean, but he really couldn't take a joke very well, so that was funny too. He was a fun one to tease, and Jess and I would kind of team up and mess with him.
It would really piss him off.
Yeah, I can kind of feel that you guys maybe gave him a run for his money.
Yeah, definitely. But no, he was, I'm telling you, when people would say, "Oh, you're so lucky, you're this and that," I was like, "What's it like being married to him?" And I'd say, "I have never been bored." And that was a fact. And I was never bored. I've been bored since he passed, but,
I have a feeling 2022 is going to be busy for you, Laurie. I have a funny feeling.
We're ready. We're ready to kind of come back to life a little bit.
Yep.
It's definitely knocked the wind out of us, and then the pandemic, at the same time. So it was like prolonging everything. But I think the kids and I we're kind of reaching the point where we're ready to
hit the ground running.
Yep. Well, you needed your time. Everybody needs their time, and you took the time that you needed. And now, like Jess said, hit the ground running. Jess, what is one thing you would like everyone to take away when they listen to this song that you just did?
I want everyone to realize that, Christmas is something to enjoy, to remember all the great memories, and, to not dwell on the people that we lost. Think about the people that we don't have in our lives right now, and just be happy and think of all the great memories and enjoy life and enjoy the holidays. I mean, and when you need to be sad, but don't forget where you came from and the people that aren't here with us anymore. And, and it's the holidays, it's Christmas, and there's no need to be sad all the time. And you have to remember that there were really good times, and there were times where you would laugh, and there are times that you would cry, and just soak it all in, and, because everybody loves Christmas.
It's so true. And Laurie, how about you? What is one thing that you would love everyone to take away when they hear this song?
I would pretty much parrot the things that Jess just said. For us, like, I don't remember the first Christmas, and I saw a picture, and it's like we had a tree, and I was like, wow, I decorated a tree that Christmas. I do not remember it at all. Last year we had an upside down, the tree, the bottom of the tree, it looked like a little palm tree. It was ugly as everything. So this year we're having my parents out. We're really excited, and we've also lost my brother this year. So, a lot of people that have been through similar things as we have this year. I'd like for everybody to also experience what we're trying to, where we are carrying on. It's not easy, but, we have those great memories, and the fact that we have been blessed with such wonderful experiences that, that's something that'll carry us into the future. And the same with Eddie's music. His voice carries on. He's not here with us, but his voice still is, and we're hoping that it can still bring people joy. And that's pretty much the whole reason for putting it out was, that they want to bring other people joy, because they know that other people have suffered also, and there's a way to try to bring people up when they're down.
Well, we truly appreciate you carrying on, like I said, Eddie's legacy in such a wonderful way. And now the song Everybody Loves Christmas, a song for Dad, uplifting, my word for it, fun, happy. It's great, and people are loving it. They're sharing it. They're listening. They're loving it. So thank you so much for that. And we truly appreciate you guys talking to us today and sharing, some pretty cool stories about your memories with Eddie, sharing the Christmas holiday spirit with everyone. Jess, you're amazing. And you and John Waite in 2022. No, we truly appreciate it. And we look forward to also hearing some of your dad's unreleased music. That is going to be amazing. And Laurie, thank you so much for all that you do.
Oh, thank you, Kiki. We're so happy to have been able to do this. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
What nice people. Lori and Jess, really, really nice.
Oh my gosh.
They're great. Oh my God, the stories.
We're part of the Money family.
Can you hang on for a second?
Oh my God.
The phone's ringing. Hang on.
Kiki, would you forget about me?
Absolutely not. Would never forget about you, Dez.
No, I'm just kidding.
So the new song, Everybody Loves Christmas, a song for Dad. Like I was telling your mom and sister, and awesome. Thank you so much for talking to us today. We really appreciate it. The song is so fun. So how did you get this done how did you get it done so quickly?
The turnaround time was we didn't have much time to get it done, but we got it done in a couple days, I think, right, Jess? Yeah. We were talking about doing it for a really long time, and when we finally got around to it, it was really special that we did it, and really happy that it came out the way it came out, and it was really fun to do, and it was really special to have my dad a part of the chorus as well, and Jess did a great job helping write everything, and the way it came together was just really great. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, totally fun, totally upbeat. Now I asked Jess, I'm going to ask you, what was it like when you heard the final version and your dad was a part of it? What was that like for you?
Oh, it was really special. We were just blasting it all day, right when we first heard it. Our friend Chris Ladaugi did the mix, and he did such a great job on it. So we were really happy with the way it came out. It definitely has just a really good feel-good vibe to it, and we're really happy with the way that the fans are receiving it so far. They seem to really be enjoying it, so we're really happy with that. It's been great.
Now, did your dad ever talk to you about the original single that he had released in 97 with Ronnie Spector? Did he ever tell you any stories about that?
I didn't hear any stories about recording that song in particular, but yeah, he that was always a song we would play every year, and he loved that song, and he loved Christmas, and just spreading the joy of Christmas, and making sure everybody had a happy holidays and everything like that. So we're happy to carry that on and continue spreading the joy to everybody.
And what is one of your favorite Christmas memories with your dad?
One of my favorite Christmas memories with my dad, we would always go to New York, and so it's really not like one time in particular, but that's kind of a tradition with my family. So I miss going to New York with them and spending time with the family, and but hopefully we can go visit my dad's side of the family over there pretty soon, and but we really miss them over there as well. So yeah. Well,
it's time for you to get back out to the East Coast, I say.
Yeah.
And you also have a great song of your own that you released not too long ago, Give Me All You Got. That is another fun and upbeat song. You totally remind me of your dad. I have to say that.
Thank you.
So what was it like to record that song?
That's another song that I made in just like a couple days. That song kind of like I was having that kind of feeling like making a good feel-good pop song for the summer. And so when we released that, that's what it was all about. And Jess helped me out with the music video as well. And that was another thing that was really fun working on with my family. And we had my little brother Julian on the drums in the video, and we also had the guitar for the two Tickets to Paradise in the video as well. So that was just a really special moment. And I wanted to just show people that we're still doing our thing, and the Money family's still going, and going strong, and having a lot of fun doing it.
Oh, yeah, and it sounds like, according to Jess, you guys have some really cool stuff planned for next year.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking forward to it. More music on the way, and hopefully we can get back out there and start going back on tour again next year. But, we'll see.
Well, we're totally looking forward to that, and hopefully you can, and we'll definitely be watching out. Now, the tribute show that you had for your dad not too long ago, what was your favorite memory of that night?
My favorite memory was just seeing all the friends of my dad's and everybody coming together to to do that special night, and it was great performing all those songs again, and performing them in a different way, obviously when he wasn't there, but it was great to hear the different versions of the songs that everybody performed, and so I think that was a great night, very special night, and I was really happy the way that turned out as well.
Well, know that your dad has touched so many of us throughout the decades, the years, everything. And we truly appreciate the Money family carrying on, like I said to your mom, carrying on his legacy and, moving forward and doing your own things and doing new things. And I'm sure your dad is looking down and just smiling from ear to ear. And I'm sure he's thankful for what you guys are doing as well.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, it's we're just trying to make him proud and doing what we love and trying our best to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. So that's what it's all about.
And I think you're doing a great job. And we love the new song. We're going to keep sharing it and playing it. And give us more. We want more.
Yeah. There's more on the way. We got a lot of music on the way, so we're looking forward to sharing more in 2022. So thank you so much for having me on the show.
This is the Money Family, and you're listening to Kiki.fm.